Hmm. I don't know about any of that, but one thing I can share with Mira, Hera, and Gordon here is this. Is the one's commonality it does have between he and the movie I'm talking about today is it's finding its audience fast, just like I said it would. And there's nobody else on the marquee, no racer that there is or was, whatever is gonna bring them down. Now that I got that bit out of the way, I just watched The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie, and I, for one, absolutely loved it. Though Warner's was this close to just shunting this off into the obscurity vault, they the film was rescued by Mini Major Ketchup Entertainment, and even though some people might think it was a total a wash financially, that's actually not entirely accurate. I mean, my understanding is just pay for distribution rights, and in my case, every single screening in my closest venue that was showing it had sold out earlier this year, which is actually pretty good for a film which only screened at 1,500 theaters at best. I also suppose well for them finally rescuing characters as Acme from the den obscurity. So let's begin. The the film is directed, co-written, and co-produced by Pete Browngardt, who previously had a multitude of short films for the franchise, and they also worked on a lot of actually pretty solid episodes of movies in SpongeBob, uh, and helping infuse those characters with his comedic sensibilities. You can tell from the opening moments it's definitely a movie made for and by fans of the classic Looney Tunes style, with the diner they visit, Clampett being an homage to legendary anime Bob Clampett, who definitely, before Bugs became Daffy's his main rival to play off of comedically, he, the crazy Daffy was playing off the straight man Porky Pig in a lot of his early cartoons, and even though they definitely have a lot of things like, say, smart devices and trying to go viral to get cash, the plot is at its core or in the same vein as the classic short inspiration, in which an alien invasion is coming. I mean, which also involves a meteor or a bunch of mutagenic goo and a new chewing gum recipe, in which all combine to make the wildest 91 minutes I like to see in a long time. And I can honestly say this: I'm not sure it'll be my favorite film of the year here, but I can definitely say it just made the list. Yeah. Yes, folks, it's another weekend where, even though the world is currently being ruled by despair and uncertainty, I am choosing joy and utter lunacy. Even with being among the people who's into the more dank aspects of the Space Jam duology, if you were to ask me what I would expect from like a feature-length anime Looney Tunes film, as in the first one to actually be entirely animated with no live-action components at all, this is honestly the closest to what I envisioned, and and with that in mind, and it definitely as another one proves this. As anytime some suit claims a market for something, then a market will inevitably emerge to prove said suit wrong, even if they're not always able willing to admit it. And with that in mind, I think Ketchup Entertainment was definitely the right call to have as like a mini major or distributor or so. Once I have have a theater here near me showing Coyote vs. Acme once it does finally come out. Fingers crossed about something good happening with Batgirl next. I'm there. Certainly. I mean, what I've been told about that one is that on all the pieces, I've been advocating this one for multiple reasons, where it's definitely a brand that has multi-generational appeal, even on like a personal level. Well, it is the human actor John Cena is one of the few people left in the business that can sell a movie on name alone, and also people who have had a chance to see it early have compared it favorably to both Who Framed Roger Rabbit and Warner's own Barbie in terms of both heart and satirical humor. Er, and I even like that Tiny Toons one they did back in the day, which actually previously adapted that New Yorker article, or used elements from it at least. I mean, but still, even though they're not that many huge celebrity voice actors in this movie either Eric Bauza as Daffy, who's been voicing various Warner Bros. Characters for a long time now, definitely captures the screwball antics of the classic character. I mean, her where and also the physical comedy. He definitely shows how even in an age where CG rules a roost, who's to varying degrees, he's there is still a place for digital animation. Even bigger companies actually considering visiting it. So I would say, how about that? So, rather than play the blame game, much like I did with the movie I talked about last week, which I still recommend seeing, by the way, I will say this: if you have seen this movie, then great. If you haven't, definitely give it a watch now that it's on Max, soon to be debranded back to HBO Max. And yes, I am still working on my third and final one, especially as the breakup is going to be happening. It's currently set in motion and will be done by the end of the fiscal year next year, the earliest. So there's that. And don't know about any write-offs, but I think it's actually a bit too premature to write off anything right now, even if I am a bit skeptical about F1. Personally, that'll be all for now. And one last thing, still a bit more work to do on my teeth, and my next appointment is going to be in July. And hopefully it'll go as well, because I really want to see both Jurassic World, Fantastic Four, and especially Superman next month. That's all, folks.